Welcome back to Ask Ayo. I am Ayo Conseco. Um, this is the show where you, the patron, get to guide the direction in which we go. Today's question came from another anonymous patron. Wanted to stay anonymous. They said, is there ever a situation where it's okay for a girl to cheat? Heavy. Get your shit together, big homie. We have to kill the bullshit. A man cheating and a girl cheating is the same thing. It's not the same thing. That's why we don't have the same sexual organ. That's why it's harder for a girl to keep up her hygiene. Why? That's why, a girl can have children. There's nothing that a nigga can do to have children. A nigga can impregnate. I don't want to get into the old, age-old conversation, but a nigga can impregnate a bitch every day of the year. He can have a child every day of the year. A girl can only have one child a year. We can't play this game of it being the same thing. The woman is sacred. There's a reason why when a girl catches a dude cheating, she slaps him, she punches him, she, goes crazy, and he's just supposed to console her. And that's looked at like it's okay. If a girl cheats on a nigga and he punches her in the face, it's like, whoa, my nigga. And that's the whole power thing that he's supposed to control. He was given more strength than a girl, and she was given more power. As far as you're the bringer of life, like you're God. You know what I'm saying? For the first years, before, if there's no language being spoken, a child is gonna think that their mother is God. They actually have to feed off of you. Like we can't ignore that. You know what I'm saying? The legal system is fucked. All good. We understand all that. But if we're just talking about bare bones, what it is, there's a reason why the man goes out and fights and gets the food to bring to the woman, to lay the food at her feet. It's because of how important she is. You know what I'm saying? So, coming back into current times, and it's the same thing for a nigga, if you are thinking about cheating on a nigga, you would be better off just leaving him. When you start, and for motherfuckers to have you feel like it's okay to be in love with one motherfucker and then be in a marriage with another motherfucker, that's evil shit. That's evil shit. That's the snake in the garden. Give a fuck what the world says. Oh, fuck it, you can just shoot heroin in the street. It's okay. Everybody's doing it. There's some things that you wouldn't do if people just started eating shit, like out the toilet eating shit. Like, you wouldn't do it because everybody's doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, in your heart, you know it's wrong. If you're not in that, that's a whole nother thing. What is, when we start talking about this cheating thing, it has to go deep, because the reason why you're cheating and the reason why a nigga is cheating is two different things. It needs to be called two different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cheating is betrayal. A nigga cheating is just cheating. Like, I wanted to go see what that was like, but I don't have no feelings for her. I just wanted to see what that was about. And even if you do have those same thoughts, you have to carry yourself differently, because you'll be looked at differently. And it's a reason for that. No nigga don't want no bitch who is like that. A bitch still wants a nigga who fucks a lot of hoes. A nigga doesn't want a bitch who fucks a whole bunch of niggas. A nigga fucking a whole bunch of hoes make the nigga more attractive to the bitch. Make her feel like she got something that bitches want. A bitch fucking a whole bunch of niggas just like that, there's no worth to you. So don't let the world trick you into feeling like there is these type of situations. Cheating is like if you don't love two niggas at the same time. A lot of times they'll bitches that say a work husband, that's my work husband and shit like that. If it's gotten to that point to where you're not engaged at the house no more, then move on. That simple, that easy, move on. Because there's nothing but horrible shit that's gonna come after that. Once that feeling is gone, as far as fucking and shit like that, it's time to go and get the fuck out the way. Because it's gonna get real confusing. And I feel like in that sense, at that moment right there, you have to be selfish. You have to be selfish in that, hey, I'm not feeling this no more. I don't give a fuck. We got 6 kids. We got a whole life together. I'm going to get the fuck out of here because shit going to get crazy, because the way that you react when you get cheated on will be different than how he acts when he get cheated on. When a nigga loves a girl, that shit gets serious. And like I said, a nigga cheat on a bitch 100 times, a bitch cheat 1 time, and it's like what you've shown with that is that you're sullied. You're sullied when a nigga actually, when you're the one that he comes home to, you're the peace. You're his peace. You know what I'm saying? You're the one thing in this crazy world that he can depend on. You falling victim to your flesh is just like, that's not what you presented to him. If you presented that to him in the beginning, then he never would have made you his main. He would have made you his fun girl. You understand? You have to make that decision. If you don't feel like you got it all out of you and shit like that, then you need to let that be known in the beginning what it is. And then you have that responsibility. If you see that nigga getting too into you and too serious, then it's like, whoa, hold on, be home. We need to go ahead and not take no time apart. We need to go our separate ways, because that shit can get real. We have too many examples now. It's the same thing I would tell a talent, an artist going into the music business. There's too many examples for you to play like, oh, I didn't know they was robbing me. That's the shit. Everybody does this. This is what motherfuckers is doing. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put my glasses on. This is what motherfuckers is doing. Okay. Yeah, this is what motherfuckers is doing. They rob motherfuckers. Like, this is the business. Like, people get rich robbing people, and you know that that's a thing. And so it's the same thing. Like, you know what happens when you get a nigga so into you. Like, it can be stalking, it can be violence, it can be kidnapping, it can be anything. So you have to be careful playing with people. It's the same thing for a nigga. You've seen bitches chop niggas' dicks off and put voodoo on them and all these things. Playing with a person doesn't work either way. But when we're talking about just straight on the female side, fuck all of this shit like, it ain't fair and all that shit. I'm talking about your safety at this point. You know, shit gets serious. And if you're fucking with somebody because of their money, you already down the wrong path, and whatever you get is what you get. You can't, you can't act like you was innocent. You were using him for his money the same way. If a nigga gets his dick chopped off from a bitch that he was playing and trying to get her money, you know, he just needed a place to stay, and or he was using her while he was locked up, and then he get out and he say fuck her. If she goddamn choose to start stalking him and killing his family members, he brought that on, and we have to do that. Like I was so shit ain't perfect. I'm saying, what in the fuck? If you walking around here with your chest out and purporting yourself to be this confident person, why in the fuck wouldn't you be able to tell somebody what your intentions are at all times? At all times, telling them what your intentions are. And for a man, if you see a woman getting, if you told her, hey, we just fucking, and you see her getting a little bit too lovey-dovey, then it's on you to break that off. And for a woman, if it's a woman that I care about, my family, I'm gonna tell her, if you just want a physical thing and you see him getting too lovey-dovey, all bets are off as far as, well, I told him and all that. No, shit can get serious. This life thing is, you don't get no, let me run that back, the rematch, it's over with. So you have to treat it like that, and that's why it's so important for you to have a goal, because then you can really put shit in perspective. When you just living to live and bullshitting, doing drugs and shit like that, you can't really see the way you need to see. When you have something in front of you that you're trying to accomplish, that's what goes through your mind at all times. I can't do that because it is. I've told Brim multiple times, ask that nigga, overly fucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing shit, nigga. Nigga, what if, somebody come up in that bitch and just start shooting and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the way you move when you actually when you finally worked and you got some shit going. No, I'm not finna allow no bullshit to just fuck this up. And you can become, overprotective and a hermit and shit like that. But, at the end of the day, if you believe in yourself and what you're planning on doing, then all of these play bullshit, allowing someone to believe something that you know is not true so that you can benefit, you put your chips on the table. You know what I'm saying? Whatever comes out of that, that's why it happened. It's because you saw the signs. Fuck what you said. You saw the signs. There are crazy people in this world, period, point blank. It does not have to make sense why you get murdered. It does not have to make sense. It's done deal. They'll go to prison for the rest of their life. What the fuck does that do for you? So when we talking about cheating, it really depends on what level you on. If you're watching me, I expect for you to have something going on, not no bullshit fucking IG model fucking, you know what I'm saying, bullshit, some real shit that cannot be taken away from you, which is knowledge. I can't touch the book because the table is lean and we ain't got that fish shit. But, something that cannot be taken away from you. Not some, trivial bullshit. If you want to have some hustles on the side, that's fine. But you need to invest in yourself, and you invest in yourself by sitting down and doing the shit that most people won't do because they don't want to do it. That's where you're going to succeed. That's where you're going to thrive. The places where most people won't do it. It's a reason why you don't want to do it. It's a reason why it's not fun. You got to make that decision. Other people can play those games where they, run to the rule book and all this shit like, it is fair because it is. They can do that because that's all that they're planning for. But you actually having a future, actually opening up that boutique and turning it into a fucking thriving clothing line, and it's not just going to be clothes that you're going to have to know. You're going to have to know business, marketing, promotion, just studying fashion history, going that extra mile so that you actually succeed. Dog, what I can tell you is, sweetheart, man, life is so it's ironic. It's fuck. It's so ironic. Um, in the midst of a tragedy, it should get so ironic you might even have to laugh in the midst of a crisis. Um, you're not gonna be pretty forever. Um, as the just all you have to do your history on whatever it is that you are planning to do, whatever it is that you're thriving in right now, and you believe that the reason why you don't need to get up and work harder than everybody else is because you're gonna be in this lane and getting this money forever. Just look at some of the people that was in that lane before you. Talk to them, but you probably wouldn't recognize them because you think that you gonna look like that forever. They thought the same thing. And now they're on the bus, on the train, shaking a cup. Because all they had was something that was bound to disintegrate. And those who put something in their mind, and I am I sounding like a fucking dad or something like that? I'm talking to you though. I'm really talking to you on some real shit, like fat ass and all that pretty shit. Like that shit is really, it's so fucked up to where you start looking at people who are unattractive like, damn, they lucky as fuck. You know what I'm saying? They never had nothing to, throw them off. They knew they had to grind. You know what I mean? So it get to a point where the pretty girls are just around this bitch just beggars. There's only so many ways that you can beg. And the only real job for a pretty girl is a slave. That's it. That's the only, I hope that you get picked up by some old rich white man who gives all of his slaves, you know what I'm saying, $100,000 a year just to sit around the pool and shit like that, but you can't leave. Something like Hugh Hefner. And as soon as you get below the 10 line, you get to 9.5 and you out of there. And the most you can hope for is to write a fucking Karen Steffens book. You can hope that they give you a fucking sexual moniker like Superhead. You go back to the family reunion, everybody talking about they jobs and they businesses and shit like that, and they get to you, your father, your grandfather, grandmother, mother at the table, and you pull out a fucking book about all the dicks you sucked. You done made it to the top of the porn world. You the only female who took 27 dicks in 30 minutes. You made 27 niggas bust in you in 30 minutes. You don't have to, like, you can play those fucking games like it's all good until your daughter comes up to you at 7 years old and says she want to be just like you. Stop with the bullshit, man. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. Has my shit been pulled down this all the time? You know what's right and you know what's wrong. It's a slippery slope when you start giving in to, these. You were given the birthright of, it's God and then it's you. And then there's everybody else. Of course you can't. It's like you're throwing away your birthright of being royalty because you want to be able to run around with the ugly bitches. Suki Hana and Meg the Stallion and all them. Them hoes is convincing you that their life is better. You got niggas bringing you houses and all kind of shit, trying to be, but you want to be in the club with them and for a nigga to grab your ass. Like I said, just, if you feel, either way it go, if you feel like, there is no situation where it's okay for a girl, there is none. He cheated on me or whatever, then leave. There's no tit for tat when you're like, that's the equivalent of, man, look, man, my son beat me 3 times at the game. Can I punch him in his fucking head? I want to punch that bitch. Or yeah, your little cousin or something like that. When is it okay for me to punch him in the head? Or your little brother. Your daughter comes and asks you when is it okay for her to slap her sister in the face because she spilled her juice and shit. Like, what the fuck? You're older than, go, Deuce, stop now. You done already came over here. I didn't already let you come over here now. Go ahead, Deuce. Go ahead. I'm finna pop you. You got too much going on. You done already knocked my shit down. You would never allow them to do that, and you would explain to them, like, nah, like y'all ain't on the same level. I'm doing the T.I. right now. Y'all ain't on the same level. What she does ain't, and you'll understand later. But that whole, what's gonna happen to you out there and what's gonna happen to him is totally different. It's totally different. Every time you go outside, like you're in danger. Like the cowards, the MGTOW guys, these serial killers, these predators, you are who they seek. Cowards, pure cowards. You are who they seek. You cannot move around the world the same way that a man does. You making yourself loose only makes you more of a fucking target, to where when it happens to you and you go to court and say he did it to me, nobody believes you because you're known for this. The same way the rapper goes to court and nobody believes that he's a good kid because of what he's shown. Even though all that shit was fake, what he's shown is that he was a gangster. Same thing with, all you talk about is riding dick, sucking dick, all this, you know what I'm saying, freaky shit, all this, yeah. And now something happened to you and it was, come on, bitch. Nobody believes you. Shout out to Grump. I think Grump did something. He got a series called The Simps Will Get Aggressive. You've made yourself loose to where now when the simp nigga, he wants to fuck, and you say no, what the fuck you mean no? I heard about you. Now you lose your right to choose. If it's not something that you would want for your child, then come on, let's be for real. You got all the power in the world. If you don't fuck with that nigga no more, hey, look, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And if you make a mistake, then you learn from that mistake. But that's why you need to take life serious from the beginning. That is your birthright. From the beginning, like, you have to put that crown on and be that. It's gonna be a lot of fucking peasants that do peasant shit. You have to truly, your birthright is the crown, but as soon as you go and do peasant shit, you take that off. This is why motherfuckers will laugh when Meg Thee Stallion is not a queen. I will never allow her to say that she's a queen. You will never disgrace real women. I'm not even going, because I don't want to go say names, and we know what a real woman looks like. And as a nigga in the club and all these simp niggas, they'll play like, oh yeah, you a queen. A motherfucker know what kind of woman he want to go home with. Only a nerd nigga, a simp nigga, and a nigga who like dudes will say, oh, I like a freaking nasty bitch. She needs to be a slut. To my real man, nigga want a housewife. Humble. When we get on the inside, that's when you can let that show. What the fuck? And now the shit so backwards, a bitch will be freaky as fuck in the street playing with the cucumber and shit like that. When it come to fucking, this hoe just as stiff. Bitch just as stiff as a fucking board. Or dead than a bitch. Just, oh, man, you gonna get on top. What the fuck do you mean, I don't know how to do that. Bitch, I know motherfucking well all this fucking, you don't do nothing but make sex posts all on Facebook, and you every time you get on camera, you sticking your tongue out, turning your ass to the camera. I'm telling you, get on top and you, what the fuck, bitch, get out. The fuck going on, man? But yeah, so no, it ain't no situation on a woman's side where a woman can cheat, and that's for a woman. I mean, if you're a whore, then you're not gonna be in a relationship to cheat. You'll just be tricking yourself. Nigga ain't in a relationship with you, he fucking you. You know what I'm saying? You will always be the side bitch, and you will be the side bitch because you think your sex is where your power lies. It's the equivalent of a that's where his power lies, in fucking you. As soon as you don't want to fuck him no more, he's gonna find another bitch that does that same thing. But the woman he has at home, the reason why he will not bring you to the forefront and you will never be in that house is because he doesn't want a whore in his house. He wants a woman there. The fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna fuck the house? Like, what are you, this nigga, he's trying to raise a family. He don't need a fucking whore. He needs a woman. So you have to choose that. And once you make that choice, then that's what it is. Until, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Don't believe these bitches when they tell you all this free shit. Them bitches is mad as fuck that they can't make a nigga stay with them. That's why they make all these fuck nigga free and all this other shit. Them bitches hate their life. Pill addicts, alcoholics, crying, why don't nobody want to be with me? That's the problem with the nab. It's like, so you're sad because you're alone, but when someone tells you, hey, this ain't what, oh, don't tell me nothing. You was just trying to commit suicide and saying how you was lonely and shit. I was trying to, don't tell me I'm good. That type of fucking hypocrisy and contradiction, that shit will have you in a loop for years. You'll be trying to figure out that puzzle, wondering why your words seem like they're being accepted. It can go both ways, but those words that you're giving seem like they're being accepted because the problem was given to you and you're giving, all right, hey, seem like they're being accepted, and then you run into that same problem tomorrow. Then the next day, you keep doing the same thing. And that shit can drive you insane to the point where you snap and then she call her brothers over. Now you gotta kill one of her brothers and paralyze the other one. Sweetheart, you're gonna have to choose what you wanna be on both sides. It's a lot of anguish, a lot of pain. But when you come, like I said, you will never lose being ambitious and wanting to actually achieve something. Not being the bitch that sucked the most dicks at the fucking house party, but, you know, first black woman to, you know what I'm saying, write out an algorithm that, you know, frees all patients from, you know, all kind of, you know, real shit. But this whole underbelly bullshit is not helping us at all. We can go to any fucking any race that you want to go to, and there's gonna be a underclass, or underworld, or just underachievers, motherfuckers who just don't give a fuck about tomorrow. On this side, like in the real world, what matters is those who actually want to achieve shit. And there's a lot of different, points to that, because you can work a job and get relaxed at that job, and motherfuckers will be able to tell that you're relaxed because you're bored with that, so now you're doing other shit. But when you're ambitious and you have a goal and you're, progressive, continuously trying to reach something new, not being complacent, it's something that's extremely attractive about that. That right there will make a nigga, shit, I'm trying to get her. I know I can't come. I'm not gonna say no names. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to put nobody in the, but that shit is real as fuck. A nigga just does not have any interest in doing any serious type of relationship with no bitch that he know he can fuck. What you think you're gonna get on the other side of that night of cheating, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. So there's no situation. There's no situation where it's okay to cheat as a woman. Now, as a nothing ass bitch, you can make up a million reasons. You got drunk that night. That nigga was fine. This nigga ain't, his dick ain't long enough. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You'll find a million reasons why as a nothing ass bitch. But as a woman, there is no. If you don't love him, no. See, and deeper, when your pussy runs your life, you know what I'm saying? You lose that. You lose that. Like, because at first you'll sacrifice that, then you'll sacrifice your children. Don't tell me it don't happen, because you know a bitch who puts a nigga, and you know why she puts that nigga over her children. You know it's the sex. So don't play no games. So if, sex and all that shit, and, it's not about the sex, it's about wanting to be wanted, then if you're not wanted here, hey, it's over with. It's over with. Because, all right, so that one night you was wanted, you still going home not being wanted. What you're not realizing is you're wanted because he doesn't know you. It's new. That 2 week, 30 day, maybe even 2 months. Well, oh my God, you got so much in common and all this. You were like that with the person that you done fell out of love with. Y'all were the same way. That's why y'all got married. That's why y'all been together so long, because y'all haven't been happy with each other for a long time. Y'all are living off of what used to be. You're always gonna have that. When you're looking from this side, it's always gonna look greener on that side till you get over there, and then you look over here. And if that's how you move, you just gonna be a busybody. Always moving, never actually getting anything done. Always, so it's never a good situation. It's never the right situation. So that's what that is. I appreciate y'all, man. This has been Ask Ayo. If you want your question answered, when you get to the Patreon, it's Ayo Canseco. So go to patreon.com, search Ayo Canseco, and it'll be Ayo Nation, creating Ayo Nation, and just go to the messages and just send me a message on there, whatever, and we'll go from there. See y'all in a minute. Love, love.